The following advertisement has been paid for by the big guy Ryback. Are you hungry? You know I'm so hungry, big guy. Hey, Mark, what brings you here? So I'm just here to hang out with my all-time favorite superstar of all time. What brings you here? Well, I'm doing a paid advertisement for Feed Me More Nutrition, available at feedmemore.com. Big guy, that is music to my ears. Do you tell the people about your Ice So Hungry grass-fed whey protein isolate, the best tasting protein on the market? Wake up unlimited energy, the strongest pre-workout on the market, and the big guy all-natural testosterone booster, my personal fave. Big guy, you're on to something with this Feed Me More Nutrition. It is some top quality stuff. Well, thank you, Mark. It is. Feed Me More Nutrition. Premium, quality, the highest quality supplements on the market today. Available now at feedmemore.com. But wait, there's more. Just for being a listener of Conversation with the Big Guy, you can now save 10%. That's right, save 10% at feedmemore.com on all Feed Me More merchandise and apparel and Feed Me More Nutrition with discount code PODCAST10. 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 Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, and right now, I'd like to introduce...
Whoa. A guy who lost his smile. A guy who took his brain and walked away from millions of dollars. He hails from Sin City. Damn it! That's enough for you two! Shut up! You're fired! I think he said we're fired. Shut up! Pat, slap my ass! It's time for Conversation with the Big Guy, pal!
Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. I am the Big Guy Ryback, and I'm sitting here with the one, Pat Buck.
Happy to be here. I'm Pat Buck. If you couldn't hear by the voice, we're back on another episode of Conversation with the Big Guy. And before we go any further, I think you might have some things you want to talk about.
No, I just got this gun sitting right here that I'm ready to blow my brains out with, but I think I'll hold off on that for 1 second to get these fucking plugs in. Guys, Feed Me More Nutrition is now available on feedmemore.com, allpumpyouup.com, and not yet on Amazon, in which we will talk further about that, and I will keep my composure and not scream as loud as I can.
Or hear gunshots.
Bang my head against the wall, or you will not yet, or blow my fucking brains out. But we will talk about that later on. You guys, you want to save 10% on feedmemore.com on Feed Me More Nutrition. Use discount code Podcast10. Discount code Podcast10 and save 10% on all Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. Wake up, it's feeding time. Available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible form. Amazon reviews are greatly appreciated, guys. It would help out a great cause, so thank you for all those reviews, and please keep reviewing, keep sharing. That book is my baby, and it means a lot to me. The new Ryback Feeding Time 2.0 theme song is available now on iTunes. Feedmemore.com for everything the Big Guy Ryback. In Conversation with the Big Guy, which you are listening to right now, guys, please review and share with friends, and let's keep this podcast growing bigger and bigger. Also, for appearances this week, which I should have right in front of me, I'm looking right at our boy, the real nature boy, Paulie. Wrestle Jam 5, Thursday, May 25th. Meet and greet from 5 to 7:30 p.m., in which I will be involved in. Also may be involved in a promo in street clothes in which I beat the shit out of the Nature Boy later on in the show. But stay tuned for details on that. We are at Colonnade Civic Center in Ringgold, Georgia. The following night, that's right, we're not only doing a double shot, we are doing a triple shot this weekend. Northeast Wrestling Spring Slam. Superstars such as Booker T, Cody Rhodes, Mandy Leon, Bill Carr, The Now, and the Big Guy Ryback are all there in person. It's Friday, May 26th at 8 p.m. Ice Time Sports Complex, 21 Lakeside Road, Newburgh, New York. Tickets starting at $20. Come on out, guys. And that following night, Collateral Damage, May 27th, 2017. Is there a garbage
There's a
truck
fucking
right out there?
dude. I live in the city, and it's construction.
God damn, I'm talking, and all I hear is beep, beep.
And there's no way to
Fucking
edit this out. I'm sorry. I live in
No,
Manhattan.
men at work. I couldn't ignore it. Like, it's so fucking loud.
Right outside my window.
I'm trying to, like, not just be professional and not acknowledge it, but it's like, okay, we have to acknowledge this. It's so goddamn annoying. Fuck. We only the finest for the listeners of Conversation with the Big Guy. Guys, Collateral Damage, May 27th,
I think someone died across the
2017.
street.
I'm about to pick up this goddamn gun and just fucking end it right now. Fuck. Featuring the Big Guy Ryback. It's at ProWrestlingEmpire.com. You can get your tickets. It's at the Zembo Shrine. That's 2801 N 3rd Street, North 3rd Street. And it's in Pennsylvania. I think Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
For Collateral Damage, May 27th. And I know a portion of the proceeds are going to the Feed Me More food drive. It's not my fucking food drive, but somebody is using my catchphrase for a food drive for this show. So come on out. And as long as the money does go for that, I have no problem with it.
All right.
Doors at 5, bell time 7. Just get that in.
Okay. On my end, May 20th, it's coming right up. So this Saturday night, Rahway Rec Center. Cody Rhodes versus Joey Janela. A whole bunch of things going on. WrestleProOnline.com. June 3rd, CreativeProWrestling.com. I'll be out there in Long Island. Actually, House of Hardcore, sorry, for this Friday night as well. I don't know who I'm wrestling. I'll probably find out right when I walk in. Tommy Dreamer's promotion, houseofhardcore.net. June 10th, you saw the latest promo from old Fake News Bennett poolside. He'll be at Wrestle Pro, WrestleProOnline.com in Keyport, New Jersey. And then we have July 12th or 13th. July 13th. Ryback will be there. Swoggle will be there. Cody Rhodes will be there. WrestleProOnline.com. And we've actually succeeded. I think we have 4 shows in October. We just kind of sold. I'm really happy about that. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, and if you want to be a wrestler, CreativeProWrestling.com, and that's all I got. I would plug a certain company right now, but if Eddie wants to play some sad music, due to our honesty, we've lost a sponsor. I don't.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too with you. I was going to say before when you were talking, I was going to throw this in there before we talk about the sponsor.
Okay.
With Wade, I was actually doing cardio the other day, and I always try to watch at least one match a day, usually 2. But since the shoulder's kind of I can't do my burpees and like things. I do like the elliptical for like anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, then the Stairmaster for like 15 minutes. Just the Stairmaster's really good to get blown up on, go hard. But the elliptical's just to burn some calories, stay in shape, and all that during this where I can't work out and whatnot. But I watched Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, in which I need to talk about something with Cody this past week. But Wade, I popped because I didn't know Wade did commentary for the What Culture.
Sure.
And I always I like to give Wade a hard time. Old Stu Bennett. He's been a big fan of the black girls over the years, which I guess we're allowed to say. I just did. But his girlfriend now is black, and he's notorious for always having black girlfriends, and it's just that's the type of woman he prefers, and I really appreciated him getting a few putting Brandy Rhodes over more than anything in the match. Numerous times during that, in which when Brandy took the bump through the table with Cody, I seriously thought old Stu Bennett was going to get up out of the announcer's desk and go help her to safety and leave Cody out there to set up for Stu Bennett's big in-ring return. And I laughed, but when he came in, when the guy came out and was beating the shit out of everybody in the ring, and I guess that's his gimmick for that What Culture deal, and then Stu stood up and ripped off the jacket. I legitimately got excited because I didn't see that coming. I didn't know because he didn't tell me. I thought he just did autograph signings over there and everything. And so to see him throw the old bull hammer once again, it put a sense of joy in me. Because I think he still has some more in the tank, in which he did tell me, Skipper, I still fucking got some gas left in the tank.
Yeah.
So I know he's going to come around eventually to start working in the ring once again, but he's letting everything he's doing it his way, and I appreciate that. And the other one, Cody, I don't know if I told you this last week. Old Cody did an interview with somebody in which I had a few tweets over which he did a legit interview for one of the dirt sheets, which I hate people doing interviews with dirt sheets, first of all.
Okay.
Because I did, but whatever. And in a serious interview, then he does the thing where he says the Terminator 2 deal, where him and Daniel Bryan, and in this, he doesn't say anything about this being a joke, but he says that I believed that Terminator 2 was called Terminator 2 because there were two Terminators,
which is hilarious.
It is fucking hilarious, absolutely. And because I didn't know there was a Terminator 1, I thought that was Terminator 1, and it was just T2 because of the good guy, bad guy Terminators. In which I remember when I wrote, they're the reason why I quit riding with people altogether, is just because it annoyed the fuck out of me. And because it's like you think, I could see that. He likes Terminator. He always talks about Terminator. I could see him like believing that. Like it's not totally out there. Like, but it makes me look like a dumb fucking piece of shit. And I was like, Cody, like I get it. It's funny, but like say it was a fucking joke. Like, because you have to understand the audience you're playing to. They don't understand that what is a joke or not, and then it just doesn't hurt. It doesn't help my reputation at all when you tell but he put out a tweet correcting that was a joke, guys, which doesn't matter. The interview was done. So fucking I don't get hot over it, but I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, how would you feel if somebody went and did an interview about you? Yeah, I walked in a room and saw Cody Rhodes blowing another dude, and left, and that's all I said. Like, and the guy goes, "Man, that's pretty funny." Yeah, right. And then I just keep going with the interview, like, yeah, Cody Rhodes is a cocksucker. Like, then that's how that gets started. Like, you don't do shit like that. That's called being an adult. So I get fucking hot over that shit.
But everything's okay now?
Yeah, everything's fine. It's just, I just expect more out of people sometimes.
I actually feel like a bad representative. I didn't watch Wade's thing yet. I forgot that was online, that they put that stuff up there,
Just send him a text off of what I told you. So yeah, but this Dollar Shave Club incident. What happened with that?
Okay, well we know what happened. Well,
I know exactly. I'm just setting this up for the listeners.
So, we got an email, and I originally thought because of the provocative nature over the Dr. Carver shave butter, that I had a feeling they were offended by, and it wasn't that.
But I knew that wasn't it because they renewed with us after that.
They did.
For more live reads.
Yep.
Because that went over so well. Which is all that matters. But go on.
So now we put the podcast out. It comes out on a Monday, and literally I think, man, the podcast was up for maybe 3 hours, and we really don't know who listens to this and who doesn't as far as the platform that we're on. And we got an email saying, "Hey Pat, as you probably can expect, imagine, Dollar Shave Club is no longer going to be with you guys, and they've pulled their ad campaign because of a comparison to a different product or something, because of what we said, what you said."
Yeah, because I put over the Gillette Fusion, which is a superior product.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
And I did not put down Dollar Shave Club. I said Dollar Shave Club is good. And I said it was good for shaving body hair, but it does not compare to the Gillette Fusion as far as shaving my big guy head and my big guy beard. And they obviously, weren't thrilled with that. But I told you, I go, that's good. Let them pull the advertisements. I don't care. I would rather tell the truth. And then your word holds more merit, I believe, when you stay true to yourself, rather than say, guys, go out. In Dollar Shave Club, I tell you, it's great if you're on a budget.
Yeah.
The razors are not bad by any means, but they're not as good as Gillette Fusion.
No.
And and I've used those for years, and I have a lot of experience with those. And I just think they're a better product, and they're more expensive. They're a lot more expensive. So it should be a better product. But if you're on a budget, Dollar Shave Club has quality razors, and I had nothing against it. But if you want to, I understand on their end why, well, we can't do business with you guys because you mentioned Gillette Fusion. It's like being in WWE. Don't mention TNA or WCW. Whatever. Okay, sorry. So, but that's the truth, and I think that we will get more advertisers like Zevia. I'm a big believer in Zevia.
They're our best.
I love
They're
Zevia.
our best sponsor. Yep.
And they're starting back up in June. And Buffalo Wild Wings. I love Buffalo. Things I truly love is what I want to endorse anyways.
Sure.
I don't want to endorse things that are not up to par. So, or up to my liking, up to other things. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that happens. And
yes. So for all you fucking bastards that say we're just doing this for ad money or for, we're not.
That's
because
bullshit.
There goes...
We're only doing this to plug FeedMeMore.com and Feed Me More Nutrition.
And Wrestle Pro.
Wrestle Pro.
That's happening this Saturday night in the Rahway Recreational
And
Center.
let's be honest, it's an excuse to drink once a week. I mean, there's plenty of reasons before the ads why the fuck
Sure.
I do this podcast.
That's so goodbye Dollar Shave Club, hello Gillette Fusion, or any of the razor companies. You can hit up Book the Big Guy. Play that. Have you heard the Bruce?
Hey, goodbye. I heard Vince is really big on that song from the Pritchard podcast.
Yeah, play the na 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 song.
God damn it, play that. Get everybody singing that song together. Dollar Shave Club. Goodbye.
So if you want to advertise this podcast and you have something unique or even something cool, we've done it for a couple people. So book the big guy at yahoo.com. I will talk to you and we'll figure out something for our, many listeners, our audience that keeps growing. And I believe London is the top city this week. I was impressed with that. It beat Chicago and New York.
I was going to say, do a shout out to Vaseline if they wanted to hop on board with the podcast. They'd be a hell of a transition from Dr. Carver's shave butter to Vaseline. Just promoting Vaseline. I'm losing my mind this week, guys. I apologize.
So I was going to ask you, I already know, but how it hasn't been a good week for the big guy.
No. And not that it's been, people really have been testing my positivity, and I've had to bang my head against the wall a few times this week. Amazon, and I love Amazon. I use them to shop with all the time, and my products were up there for about 12 days, and things were going awesome on there. And unfortunately, as we talked about, they pulled my listing, and not just mine, a lot of people, because selling sports nutrition on there, they kind of have cracked down on. They require a $3,000 fee, as we talked about before, to sell supplements on there, but you have to provide all this documentation, and supposedly there's like a whole bunch of people that are not getting allowed back on Amazon. Well,
really?
It's usually like resellers and people that are selling the supplements. Again, like people selling another brand, like someone that was selling my supplements that weren't approved to sell them, but they were doing it. So like they're getting kicked off. But like the owner of the company and the brand, they're supposed to be allowed to sell the supplements. Amazon, though, their customer support, and this is just being honest, is the absolute shits.
Yeah.
It's gone over a month now, and it's been back and forth. Provide this document. We provide this document. No, that's not good enough. We need this document. And days go by in between this stuff. And then it's like, provide this document. And then, no, we also need this document. Okay, can you guys just tell us everything you need? And I have somebody helping me with all this and all that. And it's, yeah, we also need this from the FDA and like getting official FDA documents. And like, okay, we got these. And like, nope, the address doesn't match the address on your account. Okay, that's the address of the business. What do you want? The address of the home or the business? We want the address on your account. Okay, we correct it. Well, not approved. Why isn't it approved again? Oh, well, because you changed your address. You told me to change the address. Yeah, but you changed the address. So now it raises red flags. Okay, what can we do to resolve this? Generic response. 6 phone calls this past week on the phone for hours on end. Every customer service, I've talked to some high-ups there, absolutely were embarrassed and said this should not be happening. There's no reason why you should not be approved. Your documentation is all correct. And then so they said something, we resubmitted everything as a new case, and then they got back to us and they said the font doesn't match up, which we go, what do you mean the font doesn't match up?
What does that mean?
We don't know. They go, we're not allowed to tell you why we're not approving you. But everybody I talk to on the phone says you should be approved. All your documentation is correct. But the approval team on Amazon is just fucking around. And we don't know why. And the only person that's hurting is me right now. I've lost thousands of dollars in sales from being on Amazon and momentum, and then the global, like we're supposed to be in Canada and UK and Japan and in Mexico. I can't send inventory to any of these companies, the fulfillment center, because because they won't approve me. And so essentially what has now happened, I've lost a month worth of sales on Amazon, and they want $3,000 eventually still after all this, and they've had the proper documentation for weeks now. So it's literally every day, and going back and forth, phone call and explaining, and it's just, it sucks. I don't know why it's happening. I really don't. I told you, I jokingly go, does Vince own part of Amazon? Because it's really there's no
Ica Pro revenge. I said that.
Yeah, I laughed at that. One of the few times I've laughed this week, because it's why are you guys doing it? And by the way, during this entire process, they approved a guy who bought one of each of all my supplements, and J Sups One was his store name. He got approved twice during this to sell on Amazon my supplements. In which I said to them, how does this guy get approved? I go, one, there's a restriction on my account for resellers where they're not supposed to sell my supplements. Only I could sell them through the Amazon account and website. And they go, well, he shouldn't have been approved. Well, he got approved twice because we've had him kicked off twice. And
holy fuck.
And the guy on the phone I spoke to today just goes, he was the first guy that wasn't reading off memo cards. He goes, this is fucking embarrassing. He goes, this is absolutely a joke. He goes, I don't know why I don't have the authority to overturn this. He goes, that's the approval team. He goes, but I have to handle the phone calls, but we're not trained in getting people ungated, because that's what it's called. I'm gated on that. And Amazon is big and awesome as they are. There's some serious flaws in their customer service. Because this is costing them. They get 30-something% of all of my sales. So they're only and I was doing very well on there. So this hurts them during all this. The longer I'm off of there, the more money they lose, because it's just everyone on the phone, I've documented who and what I am, provided all the proper documents, and it's just, man, it sucks. I'm sorry to everyone out there. It will be resolved eventually, but it's just one of those. I'm handcuffed right now, and I told you it sucks because I'm got this downtime from the stem cells and the surgery, and I'm trying to get this all off and running, and they're not being cooperative at all. So, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people going through this that sell on Amazon. So hopefully, if anyone on Amazon out there is listening, maybe you could pull up my account and get this straightened out, because something is not right with all of it.
Oh, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, it'll get worked out. It's just, I hate telling people, because they were telling me, no, you correct this and we'll approve you. And then you correct it, and then they don't approve you. And you go, well, why didn't you approve it? Oh, because you changed it. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do, guys. I give up. Help me, please. So, yeah, it's that's why this gun is sitting here fully loaded.
That's why I'm spinning the barrel of the Russian roulette.
Stay tuned late. We got the top 10 greatest fat guys of all time, guys. And also, we're going to be playing a game. What's the game called where you fucking...
Russian roulette.
Yeah, Russian roulette. Yeah. We're also going to be playing a game of Russian roulette live on Conversation with the Big Guy.
Highest rated episode.
Fuck yeah, Ryback kills himself. Sweet. You continue on with your fat guy list.
The show would continue on. The logo would change. It'd be like a ghost Ryback.
Yeah. You just talking to somebody impersonating me?
I bring Swoggle back on. Or I bring
Conversation with a little guy, and you just keep it going. Yeah. Fuck.
But I am looking forward to it's a great... We said this as a joke because I got feedback from people, and they said there's nothing better. Trent said this, actually, and someone else did. Nothing better than a couple drunk guys making lists. So
wait, was that the feedback?
I saw a couple things, from the... speaking of Trent and a couple other people, they said I won the draft. That hands down, there's no way that you won with the Big Guy Wrestling Federation, and that they think that you brainwashed me on the podcast to believe my choices were bad.
There was a little bit of that going. Your list was superior as far as big names. My only angle of attack was on your booking, and I played that up as much as the fact that you bought into that as much. I thought you would say, no, I can handle this. I know how to do this. And but you went with me. So when I saw you go with me on that, I just kept riding it hard. Because
the truth is, no one can handle that. I've been in this scenario before. It's impossible. But it's not a thing.
But that wasn't also the point of the list. It was just to get the best talent, and like it was. I turned it into something that it wasn't just to win on the poll. I apologize, but the poll is over. I won, and it's done with. So I'm sorry, Trent. The people have spoken.
But I think this list. Because I want to do theme music eventually. I want to do other things. But you go, how about fat guy wrestlers? The best fat guy wrestlers.
Like legit fat guys like that are just out there. Because there's some great ones out there.
Oh, yeah. I did some research. I got my top 10, and I got a couple other honorable mention and people that I banned from this list. But that'll be the big hoopla on this show.
Life would be so easy if I didn't give a shit what I look like and just was able to eat junk all day and like just go out and wrestle, man. Like that, I think that like it's not who I am. Like, but I think those guys have it made.
Sure,
because it's fake, and like you could just like get booked good. You know what I mean? Like it's like fuck.
Well, they have to put up with like that, those constant jabs and people always judging them. But at the same time,
so what? Just eat fucking a 12-pack of Krispy Kremes. I'll feel good again. Like who cares? Like. Fuck, I'm fat, all right, I'll go get a fucking 20 fucking piece chicken McNugget and fries, and fucking the food will temporarily erase my pain. Whereas
I think about it more so they have more time on their hands. Like, can you imagine like, oh shit, I got an extra 3 hours a day.
Not 2 hours a day. More than that, because you figure like if you drive to the gym and getting ready for the gym and like coming home and having to unwind and like, it's a fucking job. And like, man,
save money on supplements.
You don't have to fucking buy any just more money for more junk, and junk is less expensive than good food. Like it is, you might not live as long, but fuck it. Like, who cares? You're constantly getting fucking endorphins released from all the food,
all that sugar.
The depression is pretty hard at times, I'd imagine, but you just fucking kick right out with a fucking 20 piece.
Yeah, or get a nice big T-shirt. Really thinking about this now. I might want to get on this
I was
path.
watching a match because I told you I watch a match every day, and there was a match with like I think is it Rocky or there was a guy or something Romero, and so it was like a recent match. They were two heavy guys, but like they were
Trent's partner is Rocky Romero, isn't that?
That's a small guy though, isn't it, or no?
Or Ricky Reyes?
No, not him. No, it was no. These were two really really big heavy guys.
Okay.
It was like a fat guy versus fat guy match, and I just go, man, like, just like that's the perfect sport to get into if you're going to be a fat guy, because you don't have to like, it's all booking. And granted, you got to be able to do stuff, and like the list we have are guys that had great careers and they worked really hard and stuff. But I just, man, what a life.
And I'm a little bitter towards big. I don't know. I feel you may not have this because you've always been, in shape, or more so like you're who you are. But it always kind of bothered me because like me not being, I'm not a big guy, so I'm 5'10".
You've always thought that you're not big enough.
Yeah. So then when you face someone, they're like, well, you can't do this to me because I'm so much bigger than you. It's like, no, you're just fatter. You may be like 2 inches taller, but you're a complete fucking slob.
A lot of fat guys have that misconception too, where they equate their fat as being the same as muscle size wise.
And that's how it is in wrestling. So it's like, oh great, like I have to fly around and bump for you because you fucking don't watch your diet, and I have to work and be more competitive because the appearance is that since you're bigger, you're stronger, and I can't do anything.
It's really not true. It's not true. It's a case by case thing, but typically it's not true. So yeah.
So we'll save that for the end, I think.
That's coming up. Do we have a big guys court also tonight with a little twist, perhaps?
We do. A little bit of a different version. Multiple clients tonight, but we'll get into that as well.
I like going over what we got coming up. I think that's a good to keep people tuned in.
Sure. We got some questions. We got some reviews. I don't know where you want to take it from here.
I was just kind of going over the week, everything going on. We talked about the Amazon situation. I saw a really cool thing on Netflix this week called on dog food, because I like to talk about different things on this podcast. It's a movie called Pet Fooled, where it was supposed to be like pet food, but pet fooled. and it's on Netflix, and I highly recommend it. It's on all the different dog food companies, and essentially everything, I've talked about this before, everything in this world is essentially to make money. And there's companies that do stuff to make money in a good way, and companies that do things to make money in a bad way and don't help you, and they don't have your health in mind and things of that nature. And the pet food industry is one of those industries that there's been multiple cases throughout the years of the quality of dog foods, and why. And dogs, I always thought that when I was a kid, like, why don't we just feed our dogs human food? Like,
Yeah.
but these companies created these dog foods how many ever years ago because there was money to be made. No, this is what your dogs existed far before these pet food companies came along.
Absolutely.
And this show, this movie kind of will open your eyes to what you're giving your dog or your animals, your cats. And it's, I do the Blue Buffalo, the Blue Basics, which is supposed to be the highest quality one or one of the highest quality ones. But even them, they're even mentioned in this. They refused to do an interview, and they were being sued by like Purina at some point or one of the dog food companies because they didn't think they met their label claims, and because their food is sometimes made by one of the other manufacturers, because there's only like 4 or 5 major pet food manufacturers, and they do all the things, even the good brands, or supposedly. So, but like the Frenchies, I have the French Bulldog, Sophie and Sonny, like Sonny's really sensitive to allergies, so he has to be on like a grain-free diet. So the Blue Buffalo, though, we switched him to that, and it helped tremendously. Like where he quit, like he wasn't, like his allergies went down and whatnot. So like we know that the food is better because it was better than what we're giving them. But ideally, you want to give your dogs a human diet. Like,
really?
Yeah. And I was looking.
What do they say to feed them?
They don't.
Chicken?
They don't. Yeah. The dogs are meant to have protein. They're like corn and starch and all that shit they put in the dog foods and cat foods. Like they're not. That's not what they were meant to. And that's why dogs are dying younger than they should, and they get these diseases. And it will just open your eyes. And not to say all dog food companies are bad and evil, because that's not the case by any means. But it will just open your eye. Everything is. That's what my message essentially. Everything is to make money. You have to choose for you what is going to benefit you and what is good for you and what isn't. Because a lot of these companies don't have that in mind. Like the diet soda companies and all this shit. There's so much shit they just sell to make money. They don't give a fuck. Everyone just wants to make money. But I believe there's an ethical way to do it in selling something good that help people rather than hurt them. And there's a lot of recipes online for good dog foods and pet foods. And, we talked about our buddy JD, and his dog has cancer, and he switched him over to making him like meals and stuff. And I believe you just do like big crock pot and make a big stew every week.
Yeah.
They have the different recipes online where you kind of just, and maybe you still use a little bit of the dry food, but you get a good one and mix in some quality human food. I think it would do nothing but help. But I wanted people to check that out. I think if you have an animal, like I love my dogs more than anything in the world. And if you've seen my Snapchat or any of that, you know how much I love them. And I just think we need to be more aware. And it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. So,
all right, Dog Fooled on Netflix.
What's going on with you this week? Do you have anything going on with the?
It's been not a slow week. It was more of a preparation week because I have so many things going on with the events coming up, and I'm in the process of selling more shows and getting more things done, and just the planning of it and booking things, and all around the clock doing things. Ran training this week. Had a really good training couple days at my schools. I kicked a kid out of the school.
No shit.
Who was
being a fucking mark.
Well, he was coming to. I should clarify this. I get emails all the time from. I should probably read those on air. Some of those are fucking crazy. With people
can we make a segment out of that? Something with Wrestle Pro applications?
Oh my god! Yeah, fuck, dude.
Why not?
I just found something.
Yeah.
Next week I will find some of these emails are. Some of them are the same shit, but some of them are disturbing.
Of course.
And some of them, I don't know what the fuck to... Actually, fuck. Let me tell you this one real quick.
The most disturbing ones are probably the people that are going to be WWE superstars in 10 years.
The ones that actually sign up.
God, these guys are desperate. Fucking sign them up.
Okay, here's an interesting one. Before I get to the guy that came down this week that I threw out because of, I'll tell you the reasons
Did
why.
you physically throw him out, or did you just say get the fuck out and like, or did you have to Buff Bagwell him where you grabbed him and fucking threw him out the door?
I have a couple scary people there that did it for me. I'll get into that.
All right,
So
I'm really interested in this.
I got a lot of passionate. Here's the thing. This is what I found. My rule of thumb. If somebody writes an email or hits me up, occasionally I get a text message. Someone will get my number. A lot of Facebook messages. And if they're normal, like, hey, I really want to do this. Can I come to the school and watch a class? That's what I normally do. Or they go, what do I have to do? Come to the school, watch a class. So this girl hits me up. I'd say about 3 weeks ago, and she goes, hey, I heard so much about the program. I've been to other schools before to watch them. I really want to come down. I already know this is the thing for me. I've been to your shows before. I'm going to sign up.
Okay.
I go, cool. Classes are Monday and Wednesday in my Jersey place. My other place is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I go, pick a day to come down. This one was for Jersey. She goes, okay, can I sign up now online? And there is an option. You can pay PayPal and sign up online or unless you want to do it in person. I said, yeah, if you want to, it's up to you. She signs up online. She pays her first month of tuition. I go, cool, I'll see you there. Nice to meet you. I get a message from her 2 weeks later going, hey, I don't know how you do refunds, but I'm not going to be able to come to training, but I will be there in 10 months. So put 2 and 2 together. Why will she be there in 10 months?
Wait a second. I'm completely...
Okay, so she signs up for training.
Yeah.
This is her dream. Young girl, seems like a normal to pretty looking girl, is ready to start her wrestling career.
Is she not old enough?
She goes, no, she's old enough, but something got in the way where she can't wrestle for 9 months.
I got 10 months. It'll give herself okay, got it.
Yeah.
Jesus. If you would have said
No, it's
9,
fine.
I would have, I'm dumb as fuck, Pat. 10 is, you can't do 10. You got to say 9. So, and for everybody listening, she was pregnant.
Yeah, so I love you. You had to explain that.
That was for me, guys. Sorry.
So I said, oh, okay. I'm like, look, she goes, can you either refund me or can you hold on to it? Because I'll be there in 10 months. I go, yeah, I'll hold on to it. I'll see you in 10 months. And that's it. She'll be there in 10 months, which I don't think that'll happen because I think she's massively, I don't think you're going to have a kid and go, let me go to wrestling school. I don't think it works that way.
But at least the money, maybe it will hold her accountable. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's man.
I don't believe in refunds, but I don't believe in contracts either with my student. That's my one thing. I don't make anyone sign a contract there, but you pay as you go, and that's
a good way. I don't have anything against that. That's man. So she must have signed up and then went and got fucked that night and got pregnant. Then, huh?
I think so.
Jesus, celebrated her big fucking dream of becoming a pro wrestler. I finally committed that she goes fucking gets drunk and gets fucked and gets pregnant. Jesus.
No, I think it actually I think because I saw on Facebook that she had because it was through Facebook she was talking and she had another boyfriend that I think was a wrestling fan. He probably went, oh boy, I got to stop this.
Oh, very possible. Oh man, if we could delve into this a little deeper. Fuck, we should have a Jerry Springer type show with the both of them on where we get to the bottom of this.
Did you get her pregnant to stop her from entering? And you know what?
I'd
be like, not a bad decision.
If my girlfriend was going to told me she wanted to get into professional wrestling, that would be my first move.
Yeah, like not a bad call.
Wine, dinner, a bunch of wine, and oops.
Fuck, I can't believe that's a great segment. I will get those emails because I get some fucking crazy messages. I get ones that break my heart, but at the same time, I'm like,
no, none of the legitimate good ones. Those are I don't know. I get that, but the ones that stand out as holy fuck, this person is demented. Those are the ones we want to hear, Pat.
Let me ask your question on this though. Like, I got an email. I get this often. Like, hey, this is my dream to do this, but I have a massive physical handicap and I suffer from this. And I've had emails like my ankles don't work.
Yeah.
Can I still be a wrestler? I don't have, control of my left side of my body and I'm walking with a cane.
Yeah.
Do you think I can do? I get those emails and I'm like, well, no, I want to play in the NBA, but it's just just not going to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
you have, but what you could do if you love something enough is you can get into the industry and
Exactly.
That's the best piece of advice you could ever give anybody. That you have to be realistic. Also, it's cool to be, and I've always positive and have huge dreams, but you have to be able to physically pull off the work part of it. And if you can't, the work part of it is just as important. And if you have a handicap that prevents you from doing the work part of it, you have to then say, well, what can I do? Well, my voice is good, and I can. I could put in this hard work on this end, and I could, show my love and passion through announcing maybe, or through, or backstage interviews, or, just going to the shows and helping out and getting ring jackets, or just whatever the fuck that
Exactly.
it is. You could be involved still. So it's, if you're told no right away, it's persistence too. And you gotta, if it was easy, if everything was easy, everybody would do it. So like, it's, but you got to be realistic on certain things.
I get a lot of people that ask, and I say the same thing every time, because the people that go, well, I don't really want to be a wrestler. I want to be a manager. And I go, that's, no offense, tough shit. You have to go through the program, because a lot of them just want to not do anything physical. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe you can just be a manager without fucking... It's rare it exists even now, but even those guys are bumping, and you got to know how to do stuff.
And those
It's
guys,
not-
all the greatest managers throughout the history of wrestling have all had phenomenal minds for the most part too, or been able to do other things, outside of that, where they kind of just did that on top of, you know what I mean? Like,
or they worked their way up from being something else. They used to be photographers, and then they got, like a Cornette's path or like Heyman's path, and then. Then there's Bobby the Brain, who used to be a wrestler. But like, they want to be trained. I'm like, what am I going to train you? Stand on the outside and fucking hit the ring and react this way? I'm like, but I'm like, if you want to, you could sign up and come to class, and you don't have to partake. But there's no set training for that.
I think I think it doesn't hurt though if you want to be a manager. You go and you do the training, and you earn respect. That look, I know maybe, and you never know. Maybe you fucking are really, really good. Or maybe you pick it up really, really fast, and like, you never know. But you earn the respect of others, so that, look, I know what you guys go through, but I'm not the best. But I can be a manager and still participate. And there's different ways, but like, you can't just say, oh, I want to skip all the hard work and still get some of the glory and be out there. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, and
there's
a
lot of guys I've trained guys that came in and I think you've met Gino Gotts before. Mm-hmm. He's one of my guys.
I like him. Very nice guy.
He came in and he was training, and I said, look, you got to go through the program. You got to roll, you got to bump. And then one day he pulled me aside. He goes, look, he was training for like 6 months, maybe 8 months. He goes, okay, I love being here. I want to be a manager. I don't want to be a wrestler. This training is killing me. It's ending my life. And I said, you're right. Stop training. Just come every now and then. You've earned enough where you know how to take bumps. You're good, man. And he's like, okay, thank you.
That's good. He went through that. That's a good amount of time of going through the thing. If it would have been like 1 month, I would have said, oh, fuck that. That's a good amount of time to go through and like not say anything. And I feel like that's a point of desperation. He makes it 6 to 8 months, and then it's like, look, this is, and I appreciate it, like, it's killing me, and you can see it's probably killing him, and like showing up on crutches, but still training for 2 months, and fuck, it's not for everyone. It's really not, but it's good that he understands what it is and what it involves, and he understands what blowing up is, and like, because unless you know that feeling, like 99% of the people sitting out there have no clue what that feeling is like, and what that feeling.
It's the most helpless feeling in the world.
And having eyes on you and judging the fuck out of you and not having any clue what you're doing and how good you are. And you throw somebody in that situation, and dude, I said, like, you take somebody like Ron Gronkowski, who is a fucking elite football player, and put him in the ring, and he looks so fucking clueless. Like, I was just like, holy shit, could you be any more out of your element? Like, it's not his fault. That's not what he does. He's a football player. Like, and then you just take a fan and do that. And it is a deer in headlights fucking 24/7. I've seen it time after time.
So this happened this week. So anyway, a kid comes in, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, is this guy stoned? Like, kind of weird. He's like, hey, I just want to check out the school. I go, okay. I go, sit over here, watch the class. If you want to sign up, you let me know. So we start stretching out, and normally I take the guys on like a 5 to 10 minute run. We'll run around the gym, or we'll do some sort of cardio. Sometimes we'll do burpees, we'll do squats, jumping jacks, maybe for like 20 minutes or so. And
to get warmed up.
Just get stretched out and warmed up. Mario Bokara led the class, and he was taking them, and I was still putting my boots on. And this kid comes to me, and I'm like, okay, right away, if he's comfortable here, there's something fucking wrong with him. I could tell.
Yeah.
So he comes over. He goes, "Hey, man, can I just get in the ring right now? I'm not signing up yet, but I just want to feel what it's like in the ring." And I go, "No, you absolutely cannot. Sit back down." So he sits back down. I join the crowd. We start doing run. We were doing Indian runs, where like we basically run. We had 20
Sorry.
Yeah, we do that. We wear headdresses.
So that's the first thing I thought. I've never heard of it. What are Indian runs?
So, like, we have a big group sometimes, like 20, 30 people, and you run you jog slowly. Everyone's kind of close together, and when I say go or blow a whistle, the guy in the back has to sprint to the front of the line.
That's called Indian runs?
Yeah, Indian
run.
runs.
I've done that.
That's what we were called it. I don't know. I call it that.
Such a racist. Why? Does anybody out there? I'm kidding. Does anybody out there know the reason why that is called Indian run? Is that
Someone on Twitter will answer that.
Yeah, I would love to know.
Tatanka runs. So we did that, and then I noticed the kid walks over, and he's watching. He's in our way too, just staring at us, and he's eating potato chips, just fucking watching us run and sweat, and he's just eating chips.
While you're doing class.
While we're doing class, and I'm like, it took all I kept thinking in my head is walk over to him, smack the chips out of his hand.
Were they at least the baked Lays, or is he eating full-blown Doritos?
They look like Sun Chips to me. I'm not exactly sure, but they look like Sun Chips.
Those aren't. I used to think those were healthy for you years ago.
Me too.
But they have with the fat, the carbs. They're not really so.
And he's just chewing them, and I'm like, fuck, I want to smack them out of his hand so badly.
Good chips.
I kept my cool. They're very delicious.
Yeah.
Then I start teaching a drill. We start doing I take a lot of Dr. Tom's old drills and I modify them. We're doing cardio, very tough stuff. We're doing stuff in the ring, and I notice this kid's fucking filming practice on his phone. Like he's just taking
Snapchatting, yeah.
Snap something there, and I'm like, this motherfucker, and I'm like, I'm gonna snap, but I want to teach class. And then one of my guys got not hurt, but Bowens rolled his ankle and had to like roll out of the ring. And I noticed this guy is like annoying him. And then I go into the next drill, and I'm teaching class, and this kid keeps coming out. We have a side door, and he leaves. Then he comes back in, and he leaves, and I keep hearing the door open. I just stop class. I go, "Hey, can you do me a fucking favor? Get out of here. You got to go. Like, you can't be here. You can't sign up. Get out of the fucking school." And he just looks at me like, "What?" And then Moff walks over, goes, "Get the fuck out." And and the kid's like, I don't want to leave. He's like, "I want to sign up." And Moff starts screaming in his face, "Get the fuck out of here!" Dan Moff's a scary individual.
Yeah, very big guy.
Very, very big. And Moff screamed at him, chased him all down the street, and that kid left. I just couldn't put up with. I don't know. And then
the fact that he couldn't just sit there and just watch like you asked him to, that's disturbing at that stage. He would have been nothing but a problem.
And after that, he wrote me a long email saying he apologizes, he this and that. And I don't know if I really am just forgiving him or I'm just trying to entertain myself or maybe it's more stuff to talk about on the podcast. I said, I will give you one more shot. If you're signing up this week and you come to class, you don't piss me off, we'll be okay. So I'm giving him a second chance because he wrote me a long email apologizing.
Can you write one follow-up email and say, P.S., no fucking Sun Chips?
No Sun Chips, pal.
Just to really make sure he comes in on his A game.
So that was pretty much a lot of training this week, a lot of like busy work, booking flights, booking talent for the I think I have I won't spoil it here. I have a really, really big show I'm going to do in September. I think you'll be a part of it. I haven't told you yet.
Thank you. This is how I find out about my bookings on your shows is on the podcast. So
I find the open weekends. I'm like, that'll be a good one. Let me squeeze in here.
That's if I'm available at that point. You never know where I'll be come then.
I control that schedule.
Yeah, you do. He has to fulfill these bookings, guys. I had my stem cell procedure done this week, the bone marrow, the final one. So
Okay.
they
How do you feel?
I feel good, but it's early. I have to give this time to they had to take a bone graft from my back of my back, like lower back, butt, hip area, and they inject these bone marrow stem cells. However, they do this while I'm out, and they got my bicep tendon that was torn. They injected into that. My supraspinatus, and I didn't realize. I knew I had a tear in the back of my shoulder blade, because my shoulder blade was constantly moving around on me too, and like popping in and out, and it was torn. Dude, this is from years of just abuse, and like once you get one tear and keep going, other things start, and the joint was being.
Is it more wrestling or weightlifting or both?
Everything. Yeah, it's you got to figure the wrestling hurt, you getting hurt, and then working out while you're hurt, and like.
Sure.
I'm a power guy, so I'm always trying to stay on top of my game, and it's one of those. It happened. It comes with the territory. But I told you I should have got this fixed last year when I got my nose and ear fixed when I was under contract with them, because I should have. I just was in denial. I didn't want to I'm fucking hurt. Like I was hurt bad, and I dealt with it for a year, and I finally just smartened up. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm off TV right now, doing all these other things, and but I'm wrestling still. But like, get this fixed. And I didn't know stem cells could. I didn't realize it was where they're at now. I thought if I had to have surgery, it was 6 to 8 months. It's only 8 weeks. So like I'm so happy I got this done. But the doctor said I go in for an appointment next week, and then the following week with the stem cell guy. He said it typically the first week or two after the bone marrow, which is what I just got, is people just night and day. They feel
really,
yeah,
that's awesome.
So I'm hoping once it starts feeling good is when I'll start. He said he goes, you'll know when it starts feeling good. He goes, you can start light weight training and then kind of build up very slowly from there. So, and he goes, I mean, super light, but I'm doing like shoulder rehab stuff right now. I'm going to wait. If I have to take next week off, I've already gone 4 weeks. So another week isn't going to kill me. And just, I want to make sure, because once I can start kind of going, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like,
can you work out your lower body at all?
Yeah, I'm doing legs still, but I can't do like squats because I can't put the bar on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Or I can, but I don't want to hurt what I am getting fixed. So I'm doing like a lot of the Hindu squats on the bench, where it keeps my legs in the proper position, and leg extensions, my glute ham raises and stuff, and just like walking lunges and calf raises, and then doing my abs still, and doing cardio every day. So my weight stayed at 275 this whole time, so I'm happy with that. It's just, when you can tell you feel flat not working out, and like, sure. I need to start working out again, but it's all part of the process. So, but it's been good. I'm excited that I'll be healthy once again and can perform like I know I can, and not be in pain all the time. So,
well, you can take a spin class like I did today, like a real man.
Super.
I don't know why you said that. You mocked me for my. I went to the gym. I had a full 2-hour workout, and then my wife's like, "Will you go to spin with me?" I'm like, "Let's do." Dude, I was dying. It was me and five ladies in a class.
Yeah, I figured. But
sweating it up.
You sent me a text. I'm going to spin class. I'm being forced, which I knew it was Lauren, and I just replied, "Super."
So it's me and 5 women in a pool. You ever done spin class before?
No, I haven't. So I'd imagine. Is it how? Explain it for everybody listening. I know what it is. It's those rooms at all the gyms with all the fucking bikes. Right?
Yeah. So like they lead you for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. We have a teacher, and like I dare say it's not the same kind of blow up like burpees, but it's like a marathon blow up. I was dying. I was drenched in sweat. Yeah, my heart rate was like through the roof. I'm just like, holy shit, this is tough. I felt bad.
Legs burning?
Legs burning. And they do some upper body stuff. Like they had us grab like light dumbbells. That was kind of easy as fuck because they're only like 3 pounds. You gotta curl them while you pedal.
Okay.
But, it was really difficult.
I wish we could have had video of this. Do you have the pink dumbbells?
They were green. The 3-pounders were green.
Okay.
The ladies in my class had 2-pounders, but we were
No, I have no doubt that that's not easy. That's hard. I bet.
had some techno music playing in 45 minutes, and I was drenched. I felt bad. I kept
It's
sweating
raining
all over the place.
men. I pictured it.
I wish that came out. That would have been awesome.
That's Spider's official entrance music for WWE. Rod Zabata.
The referee that loves to touch butts.
He's gotten him over. He's fucking in a good ref position up there.
Yeah, he's a good man.
He is. He's a very good guy. A Las Vegas native. So, would you?
Yeah, I think
any wrestling stuff this week? You see, I wanted to mention D.H. Smith. I always smile when I notice he'll leave a comment on my Instagram page occasionally that he listens to the podcast. And
he does.
Yeah. Because because he always mentions like something where it, to me, it's from because he's listening to the podcast from what he says.
Mm-hmm.
But I posted a picture on Instagram of me and Jinder Mahal that I saw of it's our battle pack from years ago. That
the figures, yeah,
that came with a fucking camera, and at the time it made no sense because we didn't do any. We had like a short TV program, and nothing involving cameras as far as physicality or anything like that.
Okay.
But they put a camera with the battle pack, and on the Amazon page, it's me filming Jinder while he's flexing. And I just thought it was so, I go, what the fuck? Like, this is the picture they post of like selling the figures on Amazon is me, the big jack guy filming the shredded guy in a double bicep pose. God damn it, get all of them on camera. Like
oh my God.
I was like, I got to post this. And he goes, DH, he goes, you got to talk about this on the podcast. I thought that, I laughed so hard because he's a really good guy.
I thought you had the figures and you're just like, oh, let me position them like this.
No,
I didn't get the joke.
That's
Amazon,
that's the official pose on Amazon of the selling the 2-pack Jinder Mahal Ryback figures. And I was just like, God damn, why couldn't he be filming me? Like, fuck. Nothing's good about the thing. Like, but no, someone will take that. We've said I like Jinder a lot. He's actually a really good guy. But
I'm a fan of this stuff. Honestly, I swear to God, I really do like what they're doing with him. I think it's great, and I'm a big fan of it. I like seeing someone new. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with giving a new guy an opportunity. That's how you discover if you have guys that can hang it. And the thing with him is it's going to deter. And obviously, if he's given any amount of time on the pay-per-view, that's his time to show what he can do.
It's a big test, yeah.
And that's, but again, they don't. I just think it's you sometimes there's always a reason they can do whatever they want. It's their company, right? But like it's and they can get any amount of mileage out of him they want, no matter what the match quality is. Because if they just want a heel to keep in that position, they'll find a way to make money with it for a while until they want to dump it. But like if he goes out there and performs at a high level, that could be they might keep him there longer. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see.
No, I believe this isn't a genuine thing. Like I believe he looks better than almost everybody, if not everybody, with the hard work he's been putting into his
do more
physique.
Squats, Jinder. I think he should do more squats still, but
build those
I'm a big
legs
fan.
up.
Yeah, the legs aren't filled out. Like I'm not a.
That's funny.
It's upper body, and it's not. I like Jinder. So everybody that's going to quote all that, I fucking like Jinder, but he squat. It's a big thing.
Get more leg muscle.
God damn it! Look at those legs.
There is something going on with that part of the world. I mean, to me, it's obvious that this came from something's going on with India, with Pakistan. I know wrestling's always been popular. I think we might have talked about this last time. I'm not really sure.
I don't know why they don't have. They have the TV deal out there. The people don't have any fucking money out there, so I don't know why they're trying to.
No.
They're like, I heard something like that. They're saying the merchandise sales aren't good out there. No shit. Like, have you? I've been to India. They don't have money. There's certain people that do, but the ones that do, I'm pretty sure aren't fucking watching fake fighting. So.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I think that maybe I've heard from my information is that it's either incredibly wealthy or dirt poor.
Yeah, there's no middle class. Yeah, that's exactly.
So
what
it's incredibly corrupt, but it's for some reason it's incredibly popular. I mean, Impact is gearing up to go film their television tapings for 8 weeks. It'll be a 5-day run, but they'll cram that in India.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, they're there's some, I mean, they did that whole India series, that Ring Ka King years ago.
Yeah.
But like, there's something going on with that, with Jinder. Pakistan has Stu Bennett's going on a big run for Pakistan coming up soon. There's something in that part of the world where there's major money being thrown at pro wrestling, and I think everyone's capitalizing on it. That's what I think's happening.
Yeah, I definitely see that. So I mean, man, I don't know. I've been there. It is a unique place for sure. You realize how good we have it over here when you go to places like that and see like the slums are the slums, like naked people, babies out there. Just but then you see these elaborate buildings and hotels, and there's the poor are all surrounded outside out there, and then you got people with guns, and like it's just a whole fucking other culture. Like you just realize just how overpopulated the world is and how bad it's bad. So, but I mean, it's pro wrestling. I ever tell you the story? We went over there this last time. Me, Dolph Ziggler, and Kofi Kingston got told. Mm-hmm. So we get to there. We have that long travel over there. I think we had 2 shows back-to-back nights there, and in the same building. And
now, what's it like when you go over there? Like once you land in like a country that, I mean, I don't know, is India a third world country? I'm not up to par with what is, what isn't. But like what travel arrangements, like once you land, how is that taken care of?
You do the same. You go through their airport, you go through their customs, and usually everything usually goes all right. Occasionally you'll get held up at customs, and but you eventually get through. It's usually taking pictures with the guy. Like that's pretty much the extent of it. Like,
but I'm saying, do you you don't drive from place to place?
No, we get picked up by buses, and then we get bused to the. So when we went to India before, there was like a rule put in place where they didn't want. Or they advised the guys not leaving the hotel while you were there, or unless you were going to maybe. I don't even think they had a gym I think the hotel, we just stayed at the hotel gym, and like they said, they advised not going out on the town, and because it's different. People recognize you over there, and they bombard you, and there's so many people. It's not like, I mean, it's you don't want to be in that position.
I think there's 1.1 billion people in India.
Yeah. I've been there for my media appearances years ago for WWE, and I had to do a mall appearance, and there were like 13,000, 14,000 people on a tri-level mall.
You sent me that video. It looked like
it's on YouTube. There's a video of YouTube.
Earthquake.
Yeah. They had to run me out of there when it was over. The people started rushing the barricades, and there was we only had one WWE security guard with me, and that was it. And
that sounds smart.
Yeah. And I swear to God, it's the only time I've ever been concerned for my safety, ever.
Really?
Yeah. And they ran me out of there, threw me in a van, and drove me straight to the airport and flew me home. In which I was told not to eat anything but the hotel food because food poisoning over there, and the food, because William Regal almost died over in India with the food. Like, it's bad.
Jesus Christ.
But the hotel food is 5-star, and it's taken care of really well. But you're told don't drink the tap water and don't eat food outside the hotel, which the food at the hotel is amazing, and it's awesome. But I got to the airport, and I had no food. So I'm not thinking. I go, I see a Subway in there. I go to the Subway to get food to come back home. Because it's like a 16-hour flight from India back to wherever I was coming back to Vegas or wherever I was going from there. And the guy's I got 2 or 3 like footlongs, like double turkey, and he's making it. And I'm like looking at the meats, and the meats look just a little weird. And I'm like, well, it's a different country. Everything's. And then I look, and I see like bugs flying all over all the food. I swear to God. And I look at him and I go, I'm sorry, I can't get this. And I didn't even feel bad about that. I felt bad because I knew I didn't have anything to eat for the fucking flight home. And
you're like, it's only a couple bugs.
No, I honestly, I did go through my mind, but Regal pulled me aside before I went over and says, don't eat the food outside of the hotel and anything like that. And I'm thinking Subway, a corporate chain, but no, the bugs were on the turkey and I'm like, fuck, I can't eat this. And like I was so sad because I was so hungry, and the longest I've probably ever gone without eating. And I got back, and I can't remember what I had, but I remember I pigged the fuck out because I was just like in and out, fucking burgers, buns, fries, fucking milkshake, like just because I was miserable. And I remember the flight because the flight had like weird foods on it too, and it was an Indian airline, and it's just. your bodies aren't used to it, So, but when we got over there, I was going to tell you, we get to the hotel this last time, and the security guard who's no longer with WWE, John Marks, tells me, Kofi, and Dolph, you guys have to go back to the embassy or something. Something's going on. They need to see your passports. And I said, the fuck they do. I go, I'm not going anywhere. I go, I'm staying here and I'll go to the fucking show. And I go, I'll go to the airport with everybody and go back home. Like, I'm not going to be taken out on a goddamn bus in the middle of fucking India to go to the embassy. I already knew what was going on. They're very corrupt over there, different parts of their government.
Yep.
But sure enough, he goes, no, you have to fucking go. They've requested you, Dolph, and Kofi. So whatever the guy that was there that was requesting this were fans of me, Dolph, and Kofi. And
no kidding.
We had to go there while they tried to bribe money out of the WWE security and the WWE representative and try to get a bunch of free tickets, and they wanted cash for whatever reason. While we sat in a fucking room, and this really let me down. I was like, they don't give a fuck about any of us. Like, I was just like, they let us just go get pulled out of this hotel and go to this fucking thing. And the WWE security guy took care of us. But who knows what, like, and those guys were fans of us, which is why they wanted to meet us. But we're put in this vulnerable position in another country over money. This shit should be taken care of before you go over there. And you know what I mean? And they should say, you guys stay at the fucking hotel. We'll take care of this. We're not going to sacrifice your safety while we go work this out in their fucking territory. And I just remember getting really hot over that. Like, it shouldn't happen to anybody, but
holy cow.
It's crazy. I don't like going to these places because it's not fucking, the rules aren't the same. So fuck them.
Man.
Yeah. I thought it was bullshit, but
hell of a story. You want to take our first break here?
Yeah, we'll take a break here and we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, in addition to being the co-host of this podcast, I'm the founder and promoter of Wrestle Pro. Dare I say, Wrestle Pro puts on the best professional wrestling live events in the country. We're also fully insured and licensed. Now, if you're listening to the show, then you clearly love professional wrestling, and I appreciate that. But I also have a question for you. Would you like professional wrestling in your area, maybe in your hometown, your high school, your college, your civic center, your stadium? Whatever you want. If you're a civic group, a sports team, a fire department, a police department, if you have a corporate event, a festival, any group that is looking to raise funds or put on an entertaining show, Wrestle Pro is your promotion. This is not your regular wrestling show. Just in the last year, Wrestle Pro has brought in incredible talent such as Terry Funk, DDP, Booker T, Ryback, Cody Rhodes, Hornswoggle, Colt Cabana, Brian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, Tommy Dreamer, the Hardy Boys, Scott Steiner, and much, much more. Even the Nature Boy Ric Flair has been with Wrestle Pro and loves it. Tell him, Nate.
It's the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair, Wrestle Pro, the Nature Boy, sign an autograph. Look as only he can look. Wrestle Pro, be there. Woo, 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 woo. Limousine riding, jet flying. Woo! Wrestle Pro. Woo!
If you're seriously interested, Wrestle Pro can bring a live wrestling show to your town. A full professional wrestling card complete with talent, 8 matches, sound system, lighting, the works. We design the artwork and posters. We help you sell the tickets. We push all of our events all over our social media. We believe in good repeat business. Packages and prices vary on talent requested and their availability. For more information, contact me directly at WrestleProOnline@yahoo.com or simply check out www.WrestleProOnline.com and you can see our past and upcoming events to get a taste of what Wrestle Pro is all about. I hope to hear from you soon.
And we're back. And I believe it's that time again for reviews of the week.
Reviews. We have quite a good amount on the old iTunes, but please continue on. Help get our numbers up. A lot of you guys didn't, they've gone up substantially, but we could always use some more iTunes reviews. And I apologize to all you people in the UK. I've never seen your reviews because I'm in the States.
Somebody said you have to change your settings, I remember seeing. That way
Really?
you can see reviews from all over.
Oh, boy. Okay. I got to figure this out.
But I'm okay with you not doing that, wink, wink, because, again, shipping to these other fucking countries is very expensive. And I'm already losing money shipping and giving away free supplements. But I'm doing it for the thankfulness of the review. But I don't know.
Well, maybe just
International
maybe,
shipping is very expensive. It's
maybe if someone listens to the ad I have for buying a Wrestle Pro event or is interested, we can have one in the UK, and wink, wink, I can give them tickets instead, and we'll be okay.
Oh, that would be good. That would be fair. Wrestle Pro coming to the UK possibly? Question mark.
Yes. All right, so here we go. First one, rest in R.I.P. the Nexus with a sad face emoji, and it's from Swice God. Swice God. Okay. I've been a fan of Ryback or Skip Sheffield since the Nexus days. I was at Raw the week after the Nexus debut, and I still have the Nexus armband that I bought that night and still find myself singing their theme song in my head sometimes. I listen to this podcast every week at work delivering pizzas. It helps the shift go by a lot quicker, and it makes it much more interesting. I enjoy listening to their health tips as I'm currently trying to lose weight. Overall, it's my favorite podcast. What a nice review.
Great review. Thank you very much. And avoid the pizza. That's hard when you're working in that environment.
Can
you imagine if
No.
I would be on this fucking fat guy list tonight, probably. Actually, I wouldn't because I suck as a wrestler, right? So, but fuck, I would be fat as fuck.
Ah, man. I mean, it was hard at Smoky Bones, but at least we had healthy options to.
We could
choose
do.
from,
I would
you know?
do it because I was drinking so heavily that no carbs was like in effect. As far as I was do chicken wings and steaks all the time. But those donuts, I would see. We had those powdered donuts with the strawberry and chocolate dipping sauces. I was usually strong, but there would be times, probably when I was like my buzz was, I was buzzed and just I was a weak little bitch and just fucking caved in and just ate a 6-pack of donuts and like I remember there were a couple times I go, could you guys make me a 6-pack of donuts and fucking or I would ring a donut in on a table and like cancel it and like I would eat it like
Man.
Funny story. I shouldn't even say this on the podcast, but. So I just went to. We take a break, and I went and pissed downstairs here, and I just realized I went to the store this week. I forgot to buy toilet paper, but I have like 5. I think there's 5 bathrooms in this house. So like I got like the little toilet paper holders where I'll have 3 extra ones in all the bathrooms. But and I try to occasionally use all the bathrooms throughout the week to try to keep because when I was moved in, I was told to like. Turn on the water occasionally, flush the toilet
flush
for water flow. Yeah. So I'll go take a shit in the guest room occasionally or whatever. And so I'm pissing in there, and I just realized my toilet paper's all out down there. And for whatever reason, because we're doing this podcast and drinking, I just had a flashback while I was in there to living in Louisville when I was released from WWE.
Okay.
Living when I broke up with the girlfriend and was living in the little shitty apartment, and I'd forgotten all about this. I remember there was a point money because it was going day to day on serving and working and taking tips and getting by week to week and day to day a lot of times.
Yeah.
And there were times when I would run out of toilet paper in my apartment and have to use clothes to wipe my ass and then throw the clothes away because I had a shit ton of clothes or throw them in the wash and then dry them afterwards. But I didn't have a washer dryer. I had to use the community one out there. So I would have to like put them away in a bag and wait. Shit. Are you still there? So
I'm still here.
But this is a true story of being down and out of like, and that was like, cause money was so tight and I was like, fuck it. I'll just use these shirts I don't wear and then put them in a bag and then go wash them every week. So yeah, true story of the big guy, guys.
I thought you were going to say that you took toilet paper from Smoky Bones. I thought that's where you're going.
No, because they had those big, huge rolls. Remember, they had the big like.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
I think I did take one at one point, no joke, but it didn't. It was just a pain. It lasted forever, but it was like that recycled paper on the big, huge brown.
Sure.
But yeah, I believe in being honest, and that was. I went through that at one point.
I did some crazy shit when I lived there, man. Like, I remember I had my protein shake scam. Do you remember this?
Yeah, because I do. Do you want? Yeah, I do remember this.
It was troubled times.
Money was tight. Yeah,
money was tight, and we're trying to make it. We're trying to keep the physiques going.
Nothing worse than being 2 body guys and tight on money.
So there was a store down there. What is it called? It wasn't Kroger.
Was it Myers or
Myers.
yeah.
Myers, the MEIJER, I think, or something.
Yeah.
It's like so. All right, I'm not real proud of this, but I was a big fan of the Metrex
RTDs,
RTD 51s or 52s.
Yeah.
52 G's a P, and I was very
they were low carbs, and this was before I knew about aspartame and sucralose. But they were the ready to drink protein shakes in the supplement section. And go ahead, I'll let you continue.
So they were like $3-4 a pop, and then I discovered that all right, here's my scam, and I learned about this from someone else. But I would get bananas, and I would get a lot of the ready to drink protein. The Metrex things. I probably get like 12 or 15 of them in a pop, and I get a whole shitload of bananas. And what I would do is I would first weigh the bananas and put them I'd weigh 1 or 2 bananas and I put them in the bag.
And this is on the self-checkout section, right?
Yes. And then I'd click, a protein shake or two. I'd ring them up, put it in the bag. And then I decided, let me just weigh all the bananas. But the bananas were really protein shakes. So I'd get like 10 of the protein shakes for like, I don't know, $3.
Oh,
and then
yeah. I remember you.
My excuse was if I ever got caught, I'd be like, oh, I've had a long day, man. I'm just I got bananas, got shakes. I wasn't thinking. Meanwhile, I hate bananas. I was just completely taking protein shakes. And not one of my prouder moments, but I had to.
You did pay something for them, though. You didn't just outright steal them.
No, I just severely discounted protein shakes. But it got to a point where there was no more shakes in the store, and they never reordered them. So I
remember something. I remember you came home one day and said there's no more shakes.
Yeah,
and you were paranoid that maybe they were catching on. I remember because we were living in that shitty apartment in Louisville, Kentucky, and times were very tough. And you got to get that protein in, though, man.
Got to get those G's a P, man.
Fuck. The things we share on this podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the second one. Unexpected Excellence by Greedo Jackson. When I saw Ryback was going to have a podcast, I wasn't sure what to expect. But I did like the humor you could see that he had when he was on ETV. What's ETV?
Wait. ETV?
Oh, when he was on the ETV, like WWE TV.
Oh, okay.
I listened to the first few shows for the dirt being dished, but Pat and Ryback started offering more. The show became motivational, informational, humorous, not Bill DeMott, and a must listen. This podcast offers useful insight into pro wrestling from the sides of the promoter, agent, and the wrestler. Pat's honesty about his successes and his challenges have given me a different way to look at local wrestling promotions and has me cheering for him to succeed. Well, thanks, pal. Ryback's story of his time working for New York, I like how he puts that in there, and his time trying to get to New York from Kentucky and Florida are also very honest, and the show's success comes with all that hard work. Even with hard luck along the way, these two invite you to observe their new friendship or their friendship and make it well worth your time. 5 stars. Sorry, Greedo. That was very hard to read.
That was a really good review. Ooh.
I like how he writes WWE's New York like it's a territory.
Everyone, that's just how people refer to it. Some people still. He's in the know. Man, this is a tough one this week. You know what? I'm going to go with the second one because with both of us, I think it was positive things on both, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure you do as well. So what is his name again?
Greedo Jackson.
If you could go ahead and shoot an email to thebigguy@feedmemore.com with the supplement of your choice, and I'll throw in a Feed Me More nutrition shaker bottle, and we'll get you hooked up with that. Or instead, if you would like a ticket, if you're in the back east area, right, Pat, to a Wrestle Pro show?
But not front row. Everything but front row. No. If he wants front row, I'll give it to him. Greedo Jackson. Hell of a name.
Yeah, so contact Pat if you're back in the New York area or New Jersey area and would like to attend a Wrestle Pro show instead. Thank you very much, guys, for all your reviews. Both of them were great, and we appreciate it.
All right. I think we got some questions here. You want to delve into that? Or you got something else?
I do. Before we go into questions, I would like to go into our tips of the week. Get that in here for the listeners this week.
Wait, before you do that, I think you wanted Eddie to Eddie, get creative. Throw in some happy things for a tips of the week. We're looking for a cool sound.
A cool tips of the week. Like, tips of the week. Yay. Maybe that's it.
That's it. Isolate that.
It's amazing how things just come together on this. Tips of the week. Yay. All right. Quote of the week. It's not necessarily from a specific person. I've heard this in many different forms, and it's in a book that I'm about to mention here next. But play to win, don't play to lose. Don't be a little bitch, essentially. It's just when you play to win, it's different than playing to lose. Playing to lose, you're playing out of fear, and that could be in anything in life. Play to win, go for it all. You have nothing to lose when you do that, and I've tried to keep that in my mind, in my mindset, in everything that I do in life. And I love. It's not necessarily a quote; it's just more of a phrase, but it's worth keeping in your mindset arsenal, I believe. Book of the week this week, The Champion's Mind, which is where I got that from. And I've heard it before, but it was talking about that in there. And that is by Jim Afremow. And that's on Audible, that I'm currently listening to that. The nutrition tip of the week. On Netflix, another show I watched this week I want everybody to watch if you got time. It's called In Defense of Food. It's a great thing on human food and again on the business of food, how everything is to make money, and it's up to us to choose and be smart and all the different marketing scams they use and the gluten-free thing. And the gluten-free is a real thing. People do have allergies to gluten, but like the food, is capitalized on that, or the fat-free. Things like that where they, the fat-free diet, the devil's food cakes. Oh, go ahead, eat as many of these devil food cakes that are so fucking high in sugar and carbohydrates, but they have low or no fats, and like people think they could eat the whole box of them, and like it will help create awareness of how corrupt the food industry is, which we've talked about before. But check it out. It's In Defense of Food, and they'll have other recommendations based off of what you watch. And there's a lot of good movies on food on there. And it just raises awareness, guys, and helps you become conscious that, no, it's not, and it's our jobs to look out for ourselves. We're not born, it's not the government's responsibility, it's not our president's responsibility, it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves. Quit being lazy and fucking dependent and thinking like we're owed everything. It's like up to us to take care of ourselves. So, and that's just what I want people to understand. Workout tip of the week. This one is very interesting this week, Buck. Daniel Bryan would be very proud of this because he's brought this up to me numerous times. Not just working out for your body, but any part of your body. This week's workout tip of the week: work out your chode, your PC muscle, and or your taint, as it's called. And what I mean by that is the muscle when you piss. If you piss and then you stop your stream, you will feel that muscle flex underneath.
I've done this before,
Yeah. So what I want, it's 3 sets of 25 a day to start off. This is by working out your taint, your chode, or your PC muscle, as it is called. You will enhance your erections, more powerful orgasms, and better control while having sex. It is a very real thing. It is a muscle that a lot of people, that is beyond weak in most men because they don't use it. But it's like any other part. It's a muscle in your body, and that is the muscle that controls your penis. So
you said 3 sets of 25 while you pee?
No, not while you pee. No, just during the day, while you're driving, while you're sitting down. And there's different ways where you could do sets of 5, holding it for 5 seconds, but 3 sets of 25 squeezes. Just squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax.
This is the greatest tip.
Yeah. This is, there's nothing we don't talk about on here, guys, because you know what? I could talk, this isn't a PG show. We could talk about whatever. I want to help people. These are things I learned about years ago. Fuck.
This would make a great coffee book, like Ryback's 100 tips and these
just
short
random
little
shit.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are all things that I do. I do them every day. I do them while I'm in the tanning bed, and it's well worth it. Trust me, guys. So
Right.
work out that taint.
I love that Daniel Bryan specifically would like this.
When he told me about it, I already knew about it. I was like, I already know about that, bro. Like Dan's like me. Like Dan likes to, like, he loves learning, and like I learned stupid shit along the years, but this isn't stupid. This was fucking. There'll be more babies because of this.
Speaking of that, you know what? Maybe it's because of his strong chode. Congratulations to him. He had his daughter.
He did. That is.
Yeah.
Is that the name correct on that?
Birdie Joe, yeah.
I've never heard of a name like that. But
I've never heard it. I've heard it once before, but I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive it's a girl and it's Birdie Joe. I think.
Do you know the reasoning behind that? Or I don't know. I've never.
No.
I mean, it's cool. It's different. So
Yeah.
I believe in being different and not just sticking to regular names and shit. So I saw that and I go, was that a typo? I didn't know, like, or was that whoever? Like, I just didn't know. So that's awesome. Congratulations, Dan. He's a hell. I mean, I'm sure they're very happy.
Sure.
I'm sure he's not going to be happy having to leave home now even
Can
more.
you imagine? Yeah, he just.
I can't imagine. That's me. It's hard. I feel bad enough leaving my French Bulldogs, which I can't imagine loving anything more than them. But, supposedly I've heard having a baby is more than French Bulldogs. But, until that time comes, I won't know.
All right, so we got. Let's move on to questions. We have a couple good ones I think are kind of fun.
All right. You never know what we're going to get with those.
From Bank on Ryback, probably one of your biggest supporters. If you had to choose a wrestler to face, past or present, who would it be? Kind of a generic question, but hey, why not?
Yeah, no, but and then we've gotten it before, I think.
I mean, you had a whole. Do you listen to this podcast? Fuck, last episode had top your 10 guys.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you? What do you need? Another 10? I'm just thinking about that now. Holy shit. The fuck?
I think I always wanted to wrestle Undertaker. That was always one of my things.
Okay.
But Brock Lesnar is always is the other one. So, and we've talked about that. But if it happens, it happens. If not, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, it's just not even. It's
sure.
Cool. I've let go of having goals. Like I told you, I had that WWE championship as my number one goal for how many ever years. Mm-hmm. And I realized I can't have goals that are determined by other people. I have to, it's the worst thing you can ever do to yourself. And I'll never fucking ever make that mistake again. Only goals I can control or I have a hand in. So fuck it. I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care because it's a flawed. It's very flawed because now I need somebody else to act in accordance with my goals, and I can't control the minds of other people. So fuck it. Like, I think it's stupid now. That I was like, man, that was something I never thought about before, and I remember that it felt so good erasing that off the thing. I go, it's fake, made up bullshit, and it's not in my hands. I don't care anymore, and it was such a freeing feeling. So,
So if I had to choose a wrestler to face, past or present, I thought about this long and hard, and
who would you wrestle?
Zeus. I think Zeus would be my number one pick.
Really?
To wrestle, yeah. And the reason why I thought about this, you could pick the fucking Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair or whoever, and I'm like, what could be the most random match that would have no expectations that people would be interested in? And if they're like, fuck, Pat Buck's going to wrestle Zeus tonight, I got to see that. Like, there'd be the match could suck completely.
All that matters is ratings, and you would deliver on the ratings.
Yeah. So
that's
Zeus
all that you got. Yeah.
It's my number one.
For the train wreck, you would tune in. So fucking goddamn, you're a smart man. You know who else? We're talking about the list. D.H. Smith is another guy, Harry, who's so talented and like. I saw because I was like, I thought I'd go, fuck. That's a possibility. So we're throwing him top 11 because he's not that he's 11, but just he's on the list.
And Harry's one of those guys. I think people underestimate the fact that like at any second he could probably kill people too. Like legitimately one of the toughest, like smartest, well-trained guys.
And he's a big guy.
And he's deceivingly gigantic. Yeah,
he's huge, and he's much bigger than his father ever was. Just in general, just like. and he was never used accordingly, you know. So
I haven't used him. I've used him quite a bit over the years, but I need to bring him back.
Is he over in Japan mostly now, or?
I think for the most part, I don't see him on too many independents over here, but he would always, you know, I think he's living in Canada again. I saw him for a minute at WrestleCon. So if he is, hey, I'll love to bring him in again. He was great. Every time I had him, he's great. When we first met each other,
just a nice human being.
I don't think we cared for each other much. Did I ever tell you that story when we first met each other? All right.
I'd love to hear.
So when Harry got signed, or he first came to, I think he came to OVW first. I don't know if you remember, they were trying to put him in like a team with Kofi. They were like they were trying to make them some like fucking United Commonwealth, something like, it was basically
what was that movie with was it Tim Robbins and Martin Short, the black and white guy, the bank robbers?
I don't know.
That movie Nothing to Lose. That's what that just reminded me of.
So he's down here. And I remember early on, Harry was not happy to be in Louisville. Like, he just wasn't happy.
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, I remember when I first moved to Louisville, I went to the store, Kroger.
Yeah.
And I'm walking, and I was in the frozen food section, and there was an enormous man, an enormous woman, and enormous 2 children, and they were all wearing overalls. And the man didn't have a shirt on under the overalls.
Oh, fuck.
And I go, holy fuck. Where the fuck am I? And I just sat there and I was like, I'm in fucking Louisville, Kentucky. And eventually I grew to love it, but like it's a culture shock at first.
Yeah. And he probably didn't really need to be down there anyway.
Yeah.
So, because he was like traveling, he was young, but he was traveling the world and wrestling all over.
Yeah.
So I remember one night in particular, we're in Cincinnati on a OVW live event, and it's him and Kofi versus me and Johnny Punch. And, we talked over the match a little bit, but there wasn't much detail to it. One of us fucked up the hot tag. It probably was me, but it could have been Punch. Like the wrong person was legal, and it was kind of slight, but it was enough where it kind of threw off the momentum of the match. Now, mind you, that whole night, I felt like we all in the locker room were like, oh man, I don't think Harry wants to be friendly with us. Like, I remember it was like me, Chet the Jet, Cody. A lot of us were like, Harry doesn't want to be here at all.
Okay.
But it's fine. So we wrestle the match. I remember we get to the back, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I think I fucked up out there or something like that. And I kind of went like, whatever. But I didn't apologize for it. I didn't know it was a big deal. Anyway, fast forward. This was when I was doing this stuff with Rumbola.
We got your big push.
My big push in OVW for 3 months, where I was like a Billy Idol kind of knockoff. And there was a thing where I was supposed to smash a guitar over this guy's head. And I did so, but he was a lot taller than me. And the way I did it, he didn't tuck his head, but he's also a lot taller than me. I hit him right in the face with a guitar. And it fucking smashed him across his forehead, his nose, everything. I wish I had this on tape.
I bet you it's on YouTube. Everything was on YouTube for OVW at that time.
So this happens, right? And I hit him or whatever, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I just hit him in the face. And I remember the guys in the back were like, they were like, apparently, this is what I heard. I came into the back, and Chet's like, yo, I got to talk to you. And Chet the Jet was kind of like the leader of the locker room at the time.
Okay.
He goes, we were watching the tape, and he was in a room, and I think Cody was in the room too, and a couple other guys, maybe Deuce, I forget. And they saw me hit Rumbola with the guitar to the face. And they go, oh, my God, he hit him in the face. Why'd he do that? And Harry, who hasn't really said a word to anybody, stands up and goes, that's because he doesn't know how to fucking work. and leaves the room. And Chet's like, do you have heat with Harry? I'm like, I don't know. I wrestled a match, and it kind of got fucked up. And then, but then, like, in FCW, whatever, like, we both love USC, and me and Tyson are close, and we're friends now. But I just laughed at that he's.
I've never heard Harry say anything bad either. That's pretty funny. He was probably not happy with being there.
He was unhappy. Apparently, the reason was he was pissed off.
But let's be honest. How many? And nothing against you. You've always been. But how many punch and buck matches were fucking ring
5
classics?
stars.
Yeah. Let's just be honest on the situation. It wasn't.
He told Chet, I think he was annoyed that I didn't apologize for fucking up in the match. But at the same time, I'm like, I didn't even think he wanted to be here at all. Like, it was It was something, but after that, I
Let's just say it was
laughed
Johnny
about it.
Johnny Punch's fault.
It's all Johnny Punch. I think he listens to this.
Sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry. Fuck.
No, it's funny.
Johnny Punch is a super nice guy.
Him and Melody have a lovely.
Oh,
family.
do they?
Yeah, they're kids now.
Oh, I
man.
didn't know that.
Sure.
Oh, wow. That's great. He was always really nice. I'd wrestled Punch and Buck multiple times.
Oh, sure.
It's a silverback. Fucking Jesus Christ. Me, not you guys. Me.
All right, we got another question here. Well, someone said, "Congrats on the last episode. That was the first time neither you or Pat snorted."
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, dickhead. This is a good one. I kind of like this one from Azabak on Twitter with a bunch of emojis. Or no, sorry, Elnam88. If you could play any comic book superhero or supervillain, who would it be?
Incredible Hulk.
Ah, that's a fucking.
I think.
But it's been done already.
Yeah, but if it's asking if I could play it. Why can't I can't fucking read? Who would you pick for me?
I actually thought about this in great detail, and because
I got
this
overlooked in the goddamn Aquaman movie for the fucking biker role for the cameo in the bar. They picked some other fucking jabroni. I got honorable. I came in second. But it was my first audition I've ever sent in. And it came down to you and another guy, and they went with the other guy. But it was fucking a great first audition. Fucking sweet. Thanks.
I was hoping that happened. The big mark for Aquaman.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I'm happy with it, but should have fucking picked me.
You got to go down the road of things that haven't been done yet, because now Hulk's been done so many times, and the guy that does Hulk now, who does it now? Fuck, Mark Ruffalo.
Plus, they probably like a guy that's a little smaller, right?
Well, I mean, he's just a regular dude.
Because let's be honest, you wouldn't know the difference between when I was Hulk and when I was just me, probably, right?
Well, the Hulk is completely CGI. But
okay, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. No, I've said this to you before, that I think you'd be a good fit for. I think that if you're a Marvel character, you'd be a perfect thing for The Thing, which they haven't done.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
The new villain for Marvel is Thanos. However, it's CGI and they have a guy's face on it, but there's not a lot of guys that have that. Like, your body type is perfect for some of these superhero things. For DC, I thought you'd be good for Lobo, which hasn't been made yet, and the new villain Darkseid, who has not appeared in any Justice League. This is my life, so I
don't know any. I'm not as in tune with all this as you are, but I'm not against any of that. I think I'm a little busy with everything, but I would think it would be cool to do. I do think I would do well in that stuff, but it's not like on my to-do list. But it's because that guy that helps out with the movies and stuff, who helped out with this, who contacted me, he's been great and stuff, and he has other roles and stuff. I'm just like, I'm always booked on stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not. It's never been like one of my. The acting thing is, I think it's cool. I think if it came up and it was a good opportunity, and timing wise, obviously, there's a lot of money to be made, but I think it would be a lot of fun. It would have to be the right thing. So,
for myself, I'd pick Blue Beetle or Booster Gold or Cyclops, Silver Surfer, Green Lantern, or Martian Manhunter. Those are my picks.
Keep your options open.
I thought about this. Oh, Sinestro and Omega Red as villains.
Okay.
I think about this every day. So somebody's appreciating that. So,
or I would like to be the new Terminator. I think that would be very...
at my gym, the one you came to when you're here in Jersey, the guy that plays Arnold back in time in the Terminator movie,
yeah,
he works out at my gym. Like, they CGI Arnold's face.
I think you mentioned this to me a long time ago.
It's pretty crazy that they hired him. And he's really in shape. I wouldn't think he'd play like an Arnold part, but he did. He's young Arnold in the movie.
I would like to be the new Terminator. I think you need to hand it over to somebody else eventually. The Rock will probably end up fucking getting it.
Probably.
He's getting every goddamn fucking role now. He's killing it. He's fucking awesome. So,
another question: with the book, supplement line, your wrestling performances, and this podcast, where do you want to be 5 years from now? From Joseph Lapp on Twitter.
You always hear about people setting goals for like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I have a life goals board upstairs with like some of the things I want to have achieved by the time I'm, older in life. But like, I don't have a set time frame on it. And I think that kind of spoils the fun of the spontaneity of things, and like where you're like, in 5 years I want to be, the champion of this, and like it's not. I just want to continue to progress and evolve and learn, and be in 5 years I hope to be in a much greater position of power, with greater influence for good on the world. That is my goal in 5 years. Outside of that, and how I get there, it will be I'm doing all the things that I'm passionate about and I love, and I'm working as hard as I can at them. So no wrong can come from that. I'm happy. Like I think if I say well, I want to be in a huge 30-bedroom mansion, and I don't want there's certain things I want to have a little fun still too, and a little spontaneity too. So I just want to be in a better position of power to influence for good. So, and I'm doing the things I'm passionate about and love right now.
Okay. And the last question from the big gal, Kaibak. If you worked out, let's say, your arms every day, would you stop the growth because you need a day to rest in between, or is that a myth?
You're just overworking the muscle doing that. That's just being excessive for unless you're doing something where you're entering a competition to, you know what I mean, where you curling as many times as you can, where endurance is a factor. But even then, you're just breaking down the muscle to break down the muscle to break down the muscle. You got to have recovery is a very big thing, and there's no need for that. And I forget the exact time frame. Typically they say it takes usually, I believe it's anywhere from 2 to 3 days, 72 hours for a muscle to fully recover. But even then, if you go really hard, I think once a week is more than sufficient. Enough. Yeah, especially if you're training all the different muscles, and there's so many different things, and it's overkill to sometimes do more than that. So,
okay. That's all the questions we have, and I think with the time that we're lapsing, I say we go into the list. I think that's going to take up a considerable. I'll save the big guys court for next week so I can do more research. The top 10, our picks. I don't want to say I didn't pick people based on how good they were. It's my favorite fat guys in wrestling, actually.
There's a lot that goes in. It's not just the best fat workers. I think you got to take everything into account, and their personality, their likability. It's hard to hate a good fat guy.
Yeah, and
and there's been a lot of them
in a body dominated business. These people, but here's the thing too.
They defied the odds in a body guy business.
I think there's been always a prejudice against smaller guys, and these guys are. Everyone on my list is pretty substantially big. Maybe a couple of them not so tall, but these are very special ones. I actually have information here. I didn't know this. Do you know who the heaviest wrestler of all time is?
I got a guy on my list who's supposedly one of the biggest of all time, but I don't want to reveal it yet. He's my number 10.
Yeah, don't reveal it.
Go ahead and say who.
So I was doing some research, and some of these people are fucking disgusting. But this guy is Happy Humphrey. God damn it, that's my number. He's number 10 on my list. Is he really?
Yeah. I got him on there because of how fat that he fucking was, and I watched 2 of his matches, and I figured, fuck, him being
800 pounds, dude.
Yeah, that's why he made my list, and I didn't know of him before. I watched a couple of YouTube matches before I put him on the list, and I was like, fuck, anybody that big that goes in there, and he didn't do a whole lot, but God damn, was he fucking happy.
Fuck. And did you know about what happened to him? Well, obviously what happened to him.
Heart attack, Jesus, right?
He eventually went on a high-protein diet and lost 500 pounds. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Guinness Book of World Records for the most weight ever lost. Happy Humphrey. He died when he was 63 years old.
I think I saw when he died, and I was surprised he made it to that long.
Yeah.
That's incredible. 63 is, longer than a lot of other wrestlers.
Very long. You know what? I'm not going to mention, because I had people that I had one honorable mention, and I had people I left off my list for a reason, but I don't want them to interact with your top 10 and ruin picks. So should we just get into it?
Yeah, because my number 10 is obviously Happy Humphrey. Look him up if you don't know who he is on YouTube. There's not a lot of matches of him. But he was, he was around, it was quite a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
He was enormous. The sheer size of him and the weight is why.
How tall was he?
He was tall too. I know he was a giant. Like he was. I mean, I don't know if he giant, but he was a big dude.
Great name.
Yeah,
Happy Humphrey.
No, he wrestled like a Happy Humphrey. Like it was. You watched the match, and he didn't do a lot, but it was I think there was a match with him, and I think it was. Fuck, who did it? I watched him. It might have been the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers.
Okay.
And him, and or something like that. And but they actually had it. The way they did the match was perfect. And they did if this is the guy I'm talking about, it was either him or one other guy. I think it was him. They did a thing where at the end something happens and he hits like the ropes, and the second rope breaks, and he crashes out to the floor, and Nature Boy wins by count out. And Humphrey sells it because he's so fucking big that he crashed through and the second rope breaking was brilliant.
Brilliant.
And I was like, it was very believable. And it was funny looking at the crowd in that match. You see everyone's in suits. And I go, Jesus, how the wrestling crowd has changed over the years.
I just wish there was one person that showed up to my show in a suit. That'd be awesome.
I have all these nice fucking custom suits in my closet. And I always want to wear them for appearances, but I'm just like, fuck it. I wear suits for the right occasion. I don't know. Appearances, I feel like jeans, Harley boots, and leather jackets the way to go.
So I'm looking at Happy Humphrey. He was 6'1" and 802 pounds.
He looked much taller. I'm thinking of one of the other guys on my list, maybe, because I watched a couple guys because I wanted to make sure I looked back past of what I knew.
He had a special
6'1's not short by any means, but
special car or Pontiac modified for him, with extra shocks to support his weight. Man,
that's my number 10. Who's your number 10?
My number 10 is a very popular wrestler from England who people have likened to being the Hulk Hogan of England at a point.
I think I know who you're going to go with, and he might be my next one.
It's Big Daddy.
Oh, nope. Okay.
No. Okay. So are you familiar with Big Daddy at all?
I've heard of Big Daddy. Yes. I overlooked him on this.
So he was a massive draw in England, very popular in the world of sport. I just love a guy that wears a fucking top hat, cape, his little singlet he looked like a Humpty Dumpty kind of guy. Very lovable. Didn't really do a whole lot. His big move was like a backdrop where he kind of fell with you and kind of fell on top of you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but he was a star in England. A huge star. And
by the way, that just gave me a new idea for a new move in the ring. You're just taking a back bump on a guy. Rather than doing the running senton on your back, you just do a fucking back bump on the fucking guy.
It completely works.
I'm going to do that. Fuck it.
Big Daddy's my number 10.
Did I tell you there was a time in WWE, and it was a brief period, and I don't know why, Hunter would walk by me in the hallways and go, "Hey, Big Daddy." And I was called Big Daddy for a while, and I never fucking knew why. But it had a run. I was called Big Daddy for a while by Hunter, and I don't know if it was a shirt I was wearing. I have no fucking clue. But I just remember it happened more than once, where he goes, "Hey, Big Daddy," and like, very friendly, nothing like negative or anything, but called me Big Daddy. And I remember walking like, what the fuck am I getting called Big Daddy for? I'm not a dad, but I am big.
Big Daddy did wear that singlet.
Yeah.
He was big deal.
Maybe it was a shot at me, calling me a fat ass.
Number 9, or I guess maybe we'll do it draft style. So my number 9, I have Mabel.
Okay.
I put him on there because he had 3 successful runs. I think he was like 19 or 20 years old as Mabel. Like, he was young, man.
I didn't realize he was that young, and he was King of the Ring, too, right? He was.
Yeah, and came, had the run as Viscera and the final run as Big Daddy V. Mm-hmm. And, hit me with the old spin kick one night, so I have respect for...
He's a huge human being, right?
Yeah, he was gigantic, man. I was so scared to take that kick. He's like, just run at me full force, and I'll fucking... It was fine, but
he was one of the guys I was scared of as a kid.
Yeah,
even though he was my favorite, not my favorite, he was one of the guys I liked watching for a while when he was a good guy.
Wait,
But,
scared as Mabel or Viscera?
no, I was always, even though I liked him as a kid, I would be, the guys like him and Yokozuna, I was always terrified of that, like, because I was a kid, that if they fell on someone, that they would kill them. Because I thought they were so enormous. So that was, yeah.
My number 9, Mabel.
My number 9 is Haystack Calhoun.
Okay.
And I just watched. I've heard of him. And the reasoning because my dad always used to make fun of my uncle, who's a heavy set guy. Growing up, he would always call him Haystacks, and it was. And I never knew. I go, Dad, why do you call him Haystacks? And he told me because it was this wrestler, Haystacks Calhoun. So for me, it holds a special place in my heart. And I went back and watched some, and I feel like he's very fitting to make the list.
What a great name. Hey, Haystacks.
Yeah. And my uncle would always laugh. It always popped me.
Who's your number 8?
My number 8 is a man who terrified me also because I remember watching it as it happened on TV when he sat on Hulk Hogan, Earthquake. And
Wow. Okay.
He did his job. I believed that he could defeat Hulk Hogan when I was a kid watching, and I just think you look back, he was fat, but he was a larger than life character, and I thought it was very fitting with the Earthquake name, and he made my list.
John Tenta. I think he was a legitimate sumo wrestler too.
Was he really?
Yeah, something like that. He was like a legit competed in sumo wrestling.
Okay.
My number 8 is Umaga.
Another fuck. I overlooked that one completely.
I just thought that he was fucking... And there was times where he was in better shape than others, but man, great matches, great over as fuck. Just, they built him the right way, and...
He was capable of doing a lot, too. If I would have thought of him, he would have been high up on my list.
Just incredible. I don't think it's the credit that he deserves, but wonderful.
He has those Samoan genetics.
Yeah.
Those Oos genetics.
Going up, my number 7, who I think has the greatest wrestling name of all time, King Kong Bundy.
I'm trying to think if I put him on mine, and I did not.
Atlantic City, New Jersey. I thought he was a perfect villain. Like, you didn't really... I also, side story, Bundy did a lot of independent gigs, and I know of 2 people that he wrestled on independents where, a lot of times the name will go up. Bundy refused to win, and he would put over people insisting on it.
Really?
And, yeah, he was always kind of cool like that from what I heard. I was a big fan of the 5 counts. Bundy is my number 7.
What a good man. My number 7 is a guy, Mabel, you already mentioned him. But like we already spoke on him, but I think he accomplished a lot. He had multiple different characters, and he had success with those characters. Yeah. So, he was truly, he was a large human being. I actually remember an interview I read, and it was in the old WWF magazine. And I remember I was a kid, and the question was, what was the greatest experience of your life or something thus far? And he said the first time I had sex or something. Like, it was like a weird...
Really?
I was shocked, like, in a magazine at that time where I was like, whoa, like... Huh. It was like out of character, and I remember it was something of when I lost my virginity, but it makes sense. I get it. Like, yeah, and not too. My number 6 is a guy I think you have overlooked this man. He's a man who I might be most excited about on my list. Oh, Damian Sandow brought him to my attention years ago, and he came up. He goes, Ryback, do you know of this guy? And I go, no. And he goes, you need to go watch him on YouTube. He was in WCW. He wasn't not the most famous guy, but if you go back and watch him, yo baby, yo. PN News, number 6.
Great out of nowhere. Good choice. Fuck.
The guy was over with the crowd.
Yes.
He could do moves. He could put in a little time. Look up PN News, everybody, on YouTube.
You know, I used him for a show in 2012.
No shit.
Yeah, so...
Wait, he's still going in 2012?
I actually heard from Cabana. Cabana said he's a very talented wrestler. Like, he still does stuff and works his
I
ass
believe
off
it. You
in
could tell
England.
he was doing splashes, and like you could tell he was athletic for his size, and if not just in general.
Apparently, he caught a bad rap for something. I don't know if you heard about that. There was rumors that he was involved with maybe stealing in the locker room.
I did not know that. I mean, it kind of fits with the yo baby, yo kind of.
He's just living the gimmick.
Living the gimmick, fucking brother. You know what I mean? Shit.
So I and he was really kind. I booked him from the event, and he wasn't going to wrestle, but he was going to do a signing because it was part of a convention thing. And this was back when I did crazy. I booked a lot of crazy fucking people, man. So he came in, and then he goes, Pat, I forgot my gear. He was supposed to manage two guys. He was managing Fala before Fala was his character on the show. And he walked them to the ring, him and my friend Fat Pat, who was 450 pounds at the time. They were a team called the Fat Pack. And the crowd just chanted diabetes at them the whole time. It was
as long as you have them make noise, it doesn't matter.
And that night made Fala's partner, Fat Pat, he is legitimately like less than 200 pounds now. He lost like 250 pounds.
Holy shit.
Because that night traumatized him so much.
And
I'm
they
pretty
say,
sure that's
and
the
they
story.
say wrestling is fake. Holy
wow, PM
hell.
News. Good choice. Okay.
I'm very
My number
happy with
6 is had a career amongst maybe 3, maybe even 4 generations. I think 4 in different capacities. I always felt I'm not really a fan of his. I didn't think he had the greatest work, but big guy, heavy set guy, did a lot of memorable stuff. Gorilla Monsoon.
Was he that heavy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He lost weight as he got older, right?
He did. Yeah. He whatever was going on, but he was a big boy. I mean, he did the stuff with Ali and as a commentator and as a authority figure. You know, he had a pretty lengthy body of work, so that's why he's on here.
Very impressive. Who'd you follow that up with?
Oh, okay. Number 5 for me. Random pick. I don't think people would really claim that he's a fat guy. This might be questionable, but he wasn't in shape, so I don't know where to put him, and maybe you can be the judge. Stan Hansen.
Ooh, if we're going top 10 fat guys of all time, I don't think he was fat enough.
You don't think so? Okay.
No, but I'm okay. If you want to go ahead, give your reasons. And
just that he wasn't a body guy. He was a bigger guy, but, you know, he always had that big midsection and, you know, he was just a brawler and he was such a badass. I don't even think people really took time to go look at his physique. So
because I don't think he was fat enough. That's why.
Okay, I could see it that way.
Yeah,
I could see it that way.
I get it though. He definitely wasn't a body guy. He's kind of that in between. I went all fat or nothing. So
now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of guys in that category. I'm thinking about like Terry Gordy and other guys. They were, maybe that's unfair, but he was on my list.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. My number 5, I went with Vader. Who definitely is a fat guy, but he also had a bit of muscle on him too, and he's very like it was in his prime, very like athletic, and you know, I was a huge fan of Vader growing up and in the different promotions and whatnot. So I think, and he had a great level of believability and intensity to him, and I always liked him. He was a nice guy. I remember when he came up to Raw and did that whole Legends thing. He was very nice. I remember looking over and seeing him doing the splits before he went out with his match with Heath Slater, and just going, "Holy fuck!" Like he was doing the full blown. Yeah. Huh. So he was very limber. I remember like doing a double take. Like fuck, wouldn't imagine that. Like it was very impressive.
Well, he's off my list. He's he can be a bit emotional. I've had him a couple times, and
I've heard different stories, but he was always all right to me.
Yeah,
but I understand.
Number
number 4, I went with Rikishi, And
Okay.
I'm a little, I like the Usos, and they're great guys. Their dad's a great guy, but I was also a big fan of his, watching him as I was growing up, and he got bigger as went along, and I thought he maximized his minutes whenever he was out there, and was very well known and still is. So that is why he made my list.
Good choice. What do I have for number 4? I have a feeling I'm going to repeat people here, but we'll see. My number 4 is Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
Obviously, it speaks for itself. I mean,
yeah.
I think he could be top on this list. I mean,
I thought the same thing when I was doing this. It's hard when you get to these names. They're interchangeable at some point.
Bam Bam. What can I really? No explanation needed. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Just awesome. Who'd you go with? Is that my turn now?
Oh wait. Okay, so my number 3, adorable Adrian Adonis. Adrian Adonis is my pick. I feel like he's the best worker out of this whole entire list, and that his one big thing was that he put on weight easily. But man, he was such a fucking talent. I mean, a lot of people just remember him for his later days, but even his stuff with Jesse Ventura and stuff before that, fantastic. So
I feel like I have the
Adonis.
same genetics as where I could get really, really fat if I wanted. I told you I feel like I have a whole run as a fat feed me more guy. Like fucking in the singlet still. I could really get if I wanted to let myself go, I could.
You get fat.
I could. And
I respect It's Always Sunny, the guy Mac on it, who took off from a season, purposely put on 50 pounds just so people could be like, holy shit, he got fat.
Yeah. I think it would be, I would have to sacrifice my health. And I don't know if it would be the smartest thing to do, but I think it would be really funny for me to get really fat and out of shape and then make a run and try to go back to the Fed. And and then I win the championship just being a fat piece of shit. Is it? Fuck. That's pretty funny, actually. I don't know if I have it in me. I've never been able to.
No.
But fuck, what an experiment that would be.
It'd be fun. A lot of fun and a lot of
I would be happy all the time eating all that fucking shit.
fast food every meal.
Happy when you saw me depressed in the hotel at night when I looked at my naked body, trying to flex. I still look the same, but fucking trying to convince myself that I still got it. My number 3 is Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay.
It's, again, I don't think there's much that needs to be said on this. He was incredible. Number 2, I went with Andre the Giant because I thought he qualified not as a giant, also but as a giant, but also as a fat guy. But it was he's the greatest giant of all time. He's also my number 2 fat guy.
I have a feeling my number 2 is going to be your number 1, so I'm scared to spoil it.
It's all right. This is what happens on when 2 drunk guys go and make a list, right, Trent?
This is my number 2. And maybe it's not, but Yokozuna.
Okay.
To be his size, just have the effect he had on the industry, and also I just liked him. I just liked everything about it. Like it just worked, and I created Fala's character off of Yoko. So
yeah, his theme music. I mean, everything. Just theme music's so important, and everything fits so perfectly with him.
What was your number 1?
I know. I want to do my number 1 before you. My number one was Yokozuna.
Okay.
I think he was the greatest fat guy of all time for his size and just the things that he did and the guys that he worked with and was able to pull off the matches, and it's an incredible feat, and sucks that he unfortunately he passed when he did, but he's my greatest fat guy of all time.
I think my entire list might be dead. Wow. Except for no, Bundy's alive.
Holy shit.
Oh,
I'm trying.
Stan Hansen's alive too, sorry.
Wait. Hold on. Just before you do your number 1.
Sure.
Vader, not good right now.
Not very good, yeah.
Rikishi good.
Good.
Haystack Calhoun dead.
Gone.
Humphrey dead.
Gone.
Giant dead. Bigelow dead. Earthquake dead.
Yeah.
Mabel dead. Yokozuna dead. PNU's still going.
Yep.
Fuck.
Man.
Being a fat guy, has its price.
My honorable mention, I had Abdullah the Butcher.
Okay.
I disqualified him because he apparently gave a couple people some diseases, but...
My honorable mention is going to be Umaga then, since I couldn't get him on the list because I overlooked him. Umaga is definitely has to be
Sure.
mentioned on my part. So
one thing I saw, you have to see these people. Have you ever heard of the McGuire twins?
I was looking at the different fat. There's a lot. There's a guy maximum capacity was like 600 something pounds on the Indies,
Really?
who was an indie guy who passed away and died.
Oh my God.
He was beyond huge. Like
The McGuire twins are 700 pounds each. You see them, you're like, what the fuck?
are they still go? Are they
No, this
wrestlers?
was like
okay.
back in the day. Apparently, the story is that they were too fat to wash themselves, and Jim Ross told the story that he actually had to wash them once
Wait,
because they were too fat to clean themselves. Like they couldn't
how would Jim Ross wash them? I would love to know. Like, where was
That
this?
was-
the setting.
I found
Do you hose them off with a hose?
Maybe, I don't know. I saw this on YouTube.
Come on, guys, let's go out back here. Let me fucking hose you off.
That's it. I hope it's with a hose. I hope it's not with like a sponge. Fuck.
Or the showers at one of the events. Like, come on, boys.
So my number one.
I'm trying to picture this now. Fuck. God damn. Go ahead. What's your fucking number one?
My number one, I don't think you'll disqualify. I think you'll agree because I think it's a little bit above the Stan Hansen level. Still a fat guy, but hit it so well we didn't really notice. And he's one of my favorites of all time. One of my favorites.
I honestly have no idea who this could be.
He had many different personas, but most notably this one I'll mention. Taller guy, but I think you'll agree, okay, he is a heavier guy. The Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
Big Boss Man.
At one point, he was quite large.
Yes.
And he slimmed down over the years at different points, but he was never a body guy. If we're going off of his biggest, I can't question it. But when he slimmed down, I kind of go, But no arguments for me on that. I get it.
I feel do I feel he's the best on this list? No. I actually think Yoko.
He was impressed. I don't know.
He's so underrated as a talent.
That's Timmy Baltimore's favorite, I believe, right?
It is Timmy Baltimore's favorite wrestler, the Big Boss Man.
Boss Man is. You go back and watch. Is very talented. So that's great pick. I overlooked. I was going for total fatness. So
strictly bodies.
Yeah, I'm all or nothing. I wasn't going for that in between guy. I wanted if you're going to be fat, be fucking fat. That's my take on it. Well, I guess we're going to put up another poll this week and see who had the better fat guy list. I'm curious to see who our listeners. You might have me beat on this one. I don't know.
I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think.
We have some
Humphreys.
I would. Happy Humphrey and PN News might be what pulls me to the top on this one. I don't know. I threw two really, really random ones in there, so the listeners are going to have to decide. We'll throw a poll up on Twitter next for this week for the show, and we'll let you decide. But any plugs you want to get in before we wrap this episode up?
Not really. WrestleProOnline.com. You can follow me on all platforms. Buck never stops. Leave a review for this show. We greatly appreciate it.
I'm at Ryback22 on Twitter. The big guy, Ryback22 on Instagram. Ryback247 on Snapchat. And guys, if you want to save 10% on Feed Me More Nutrition, Podcast 10, feedmemore.com. Amazon situation hopefully will be resolved soon. I'll let you know all when I figure that out and find all that information out. Thank you guys for listening. You've just listened to another episode of Conversation